22-year-old case of a missing man one step closer now to being solved thanks to Google Maps.
And I was like, wow, a car was in the lake for 22 years.
The world is full of secrets, and some of the most interesting have been unexpectedly recorded by Google Maps' ever-watchful gaze. From strange events to amazing criminal exploits, from daring heists to mysterious happenings, here are 15 of the most shocking crimes spotted on Google Maps. Number 1. Shoplifting. In an unexpected turn of events, the presence of a Google Maps Street View car in Middlesbrough, UK, was crucial in solving a significant crime. The story centers around Tammy, a young lady who was mistakenly captured on video during a shoplifting incident. Tammy was spotted exiting a small shop on the busy high street as the situation occurred. In addition to her personal purse, she carried a visible Sports Direct bag under her arm. What made this situation even more fascinating was her dramatic increase in pace as she departed the shop, implying a feeling of hurry. At this point, a guy came from the shop and began chasing after her. The Google Maps Street View car filmed this dramatic series of events, and the footage proved to be a treasure mine of vital evidence that eventually led to the case's resolution. Onlookers were oblivious to the growing drama at the moment. The woman in question, however, was eventually proven to be a shoplifter. She had taken products from the business, and the stolen goods were apparently worth 60 British pounds and included a variety of home items. Tammy was identified as the offender thanks to damning footage acquired on Google Maps. She was then taken before the court to face the allegations leveled against her. Tammy entered a guilty plea to the theft counts in court, admitting her acts. Tammy received a year of community service as part of her sentence, according to some accounts. This sentencing sought not only to hold her accountable for her conduct, but also to give her an opportunity for rehabilitation and reintegration into society. Number 2. Vandalism. A strange scene just emerged, revealing an unusual act of vandalism that left a path of turmoil and questions. The private residence at the center of this unusual show has fallen prey to mischievous individuals seeking to leave their imprint. This confusing episode featured a domestic residence that had been converted into a tumultuous canvas, eternally recorded in photos that have now been aired throughout the world. Inadvertently, Google Maps cameras caught this breathtaking view, delivering a virtual tour through tranquil streets leading to a peaceful residential neighborhood. There were big homes with wide outside spaces here, but one in particular had become the center of attention. The vast house's facade had undergone a drastic and haphazard alteration. The intruders had strewn paper towels around the property, producing a bizarre tapestry of tissue strands dangling from the tops of trees, pouring down the driveway and spilling into the road. The paper towels flapped strangely in the wind, transforming the once pristine and well-kept property into a perplexing nightmare. The pranksters' daring had no boundaries, as the paper towels had made their way to the bottom of the home's balcony. The apparent presence of the property owner at the time of the Google Maps screenshot provided an extra element of curiosity to this odd affair. This created the potential that the owner was entirely oblivious to what was going on their own land, adding to the mystery surrounding the underlying intentions for this conduct. Number 3. Bicycle thief. In an unexpected turn of events, an Oxford resident found himself being arrested on suspicion of stealing more than 500 bicycles. This large collection of stolen motorcycles was discovered during a raid on the man's home, which led to his arrest on accusations of handling stolen goods and having criminal property. Authorities are now working hard to find the rightful owners of the seized bicycles. The arrest was verified by Thames Valley Police, who said that a warrant had been obtained based on their comprehensive investigation into the situation. The suspect's collection of bicycles was described as a mountain of bikes, and the sheer quantity of them could be seen from a Google Earth satellite photograph. The fact that neighbors in the vicinity had long been aware of the suspect's ever-expanding horde of bicycles added a degree of surprise to this peculiar case. They had expressed their worries about the expanding collection over the years, which had also resulted in a rat infestation in the area. Colleen Butler, who has lived in the region for over 3 decades, voiced her confusion over the situation. She revealed that the guy in issue had relocated to the area a decade before and that he had been the subject of numerous complaints. Despite his arrest, the suspect has been freed. However, an active investigation remains. The strange story quickly circulated throughout social media channels, with individuals expressing a combination of surprise and laughter. Many people were curious about the motivations behind amassing such a large number of bicycles. Number 4. Jewelry store robbery. Consider the astonishing story of a high-speed police chase that transpired in Siberia if you ever wanted real evidence of how thoroughly Google Maps tracks our every step. This amazing pursuit was unwittingly immortalized by Google Maps' Street View function, proving the app's capacity to capture even the most exhilarating of occurrences. The story began when law enforcement officials were alerted to a criminal scheme in progress, a couple of daring teenagers planning to loot a jewelry store. The cops were on the scene within minutes after the emergency call, responding with amazing speed. However, their quick arrival did not prevent the would-be robbers, who fled on foot as soon as they realized the police were present. With no time to waste, the young criminals dashed to their getaway car, their pulses racing with adrenaline. They rushed away, motors roaring, and so began a high-octane police pursuit that would soon be inscribed in digital history. The suspects skillfully drove through tight streets and twisty highways, executing daring slides at fast speeds, all while frantically eluding law enforcement's unrelenting pursuit. This exhilarating show unfolded on the streets of Siberia for an hour or more, with every twist and turn painstakingly filmed by Google Maps' unblinking eye. However, as all such adventures must, this heart-pounding adventure had to come to an end. The long arm of the law eventually caught up with the two courageous students, bringing their adventurous quest to an end. They were captured and transported to prison, where they would have plenty of time to think about the seriousness of their conduct. In an unexpected twist, Google Maps caught the whole affair, from its bold beginning to its nail-biting finish. Number 5. Burglars. Back in 2011, two daring burglars stormed into a home in a calm suburban area of Oklahoma City, exposing the homeowner to a terrible encounter at gunpoint. They assumed they had completed the crime without leaving a trace. They had no idea that an unexpected witness, Google, had recorded their deeds. A Google Street View vehicle happened to be mapping the tranquil neighborhood just seconds before the heist, unwittingly immortalizing the two guys in photographs that would later become important evidence. A neighbor saw the photographs of the two perpetrators while browsing her area on Google Maps and informed the victim of the robbery. Though the burglars' features were masked by the blurry footage and Google's automated blurring of pedestrians for privacy, the homeowner quickly identified them as the people who had scared her. She opted to stay nameless because she was concerned about her safety, even years after the occurrence. Local police in Oklahoma City took advantage of this unexpected lead, hoping that someone in the neighborhood would be able to identify the two criminals. The little information in the Google Street View photograph provided a glimmer of optimism for solving the unresolved case. The victim, who had experienced over an hour of a frightening ordeal as the criminals looted her residence, clung to the hope that this finding may lead to a breakthrough in the case. It served as a reminder of the unanticipated ways in which technology like Google Street View may play a role in criminal investigations, unwittingly collecting critical evidence that would otherwise go unreported. Number 6. Illegal farming. Illicit cultivation of different illegal substances has been a recurring topic in the news, with one noteworthy example coming to light 2009 when Swiss law enforcement discovered one of Europe's largest illicit plant farms. This illegal enterprise, located in the northeastern region of Switzerland, was worth several $million, which surprised the public. Google Earth, a widely used mapping application that played a critical role in uncovering the hidden farm, was the catalyst for this finding. The Swiss authorities used this technology extensively to determine the farm's exact location and obtain important information about its size and structure. A deeper look revealed that the farm covered several acres of land and housed over 1,000 illicit plants used in the manufacture of drugs. The enterprise was orchestrated by a gang of narcotics dealers who used the farm as a hub for producing and trafficking large amounts of illegal drugs throughout Europe, raking in large sums of money. Following the discovery of the farm, Swiss law enforcement launched a large-scale effort to dismantle this illegal activity. Finally, they detained 16 illicit substance sellers and recovered many tons of narcotics and related items. The discovery of this illicit farm, as well as the accompanying arrests, represented a significant achievement in the continuing war against drug trafficking, not just in Switzerland, but also throughout Europe. Number 7. Possible criminals. During its Street View captures, Google Maps has established a reputation for catching unexpected and occasionally humorous occurrences. A recent event in Pennsylvania, however, took a different path when two guys found themselves in a precarious scenario that stunned spectators. The photograph, which has now gone viral, shows the guys standing next to a car in a stance that implies they do not want to be seen. The males in the Google Maps Street View shot are engaging in questionable activities that would surely arouse suspicions. They look to be attempting to break into the car from their position beside it. Both males are holding tools and appear to be attempting to open the automobile door. The sudden presence of the Google Maps vehicle, which captured the whole incident, foiled their plans. While Google has blurred their faces, it is clear that both guys realized the existence of the camera and glanced up. Their faces indicate that they are aware that they have been captured in the act of illicit activities. What happened after the men observed the automobile is still unknown. There are several options to examine. It's possible that the automobile merely drove past, leaving the guys to continue their crime. They might perhaps have departed the scene to escape any potential penalties. Unfortunately, the Street View viewer is left to hypothesize about what happened next, because the picture gives no more context. Number 8. Lost caravan. Google Maps has historically aided in a variety of initiatives, from locating missing people to apprehending criminals. In a joyful occurrence that occurred in the United Kingdom, the Sowens family from Lincolnshire witnessed firsthand the power of this service when they successfully found their stolen caravan with the help of Google Maps. Their nightmare began when their caravan was taken, which they immediately reported to local police. However, as the days passed, the police inquiry appeared to come to a halt, with no new leads or information on the caravan's whereabouts emerging. The family was in a challenging and distressing position. Their 11-year-old child provided an unexpected turning point in their search for justice. Frustrated with the lack of progress, the young family members took matters into their own hands and resorted to Google Maps. They used the website's Street View function to go on a virtual expedition to find their stolen motorhome. They were astounded to find their caravan visible on the map, parked outside what looked to be the thief's house. The image obtained by Google's Street View tool even included the accused car. However, the license plate was intentionally obscured to comply with the platform's privacy policies. The family was shocked to learn that the burglar not only took their treasured caravan, but had shamelessly hitched it to their own vehicle in broad daylight. Recognizing the gravity of the issue, the family acted quickly. They immediately took screenshots of the damning photographs and gave them to the cops as solid proof. Armed with this fresh knowledge, the police initiated a new search for the thief. Their hard work and the vital support offered by Google Maps paid off nicely. The police apprehended and accused the thief of stealing the Sowens family's caravan. This change of events provided the family with much comfort and delight as they were finally reunited with their prized treasure. Number 9. Peter Madsen. An unusual case has sent shockwaves through internet forums as eagle-eyed watchers claim to have found a crime filmed by a tech giant's mapping service's watchful lens. At the heart of this disclosure is Peter Madsen, a Danish scientist facing accusations in connection with the brutal demise of Swedish journalist Kim Wall. Madsen persuaded Wall to join him on a fatal expedition aboard his homemade submarine, the NC-3 Nautilus, off the coast of Copenhagen. Wall was never seen alive again, and the discovery of her dismembered torso by a biker sent shockwaves throughout the world. As the inquiry progressed, more gruesome evidence emerged, with police divers discovering her skull, legs, and clothes in weighted-down sacks. Madsen's description of the events has sparked heated debate and suspicion. He denies the allegations against him and alleges that Wall died as a consequence of an accidental blow to the head from the submarine's hefty hatch. An unexpected twist has arisen in this high-profile case. Observers using Google Maps Street View archives discovered photographs of Matson and his submarine taken years before the terrifying events. In August 2010, city view cameras accidentally captured Matson's presence as he aided in dragging a rocket launch pad toward its designated launch zone. These frightening photos show Matson dressed in black and scarlet going into a submarine, a striking reminder of the strange connections that might arise from the depths of archival visual data. This news sparked a frenzy of interest and conjecture among internet groups. Netizens battled with the convergence of technology, crime, and the sudden emergence of a suspect via what looked to be benign photos. Number 10. Naked Man. A strange scenario transpired in Mannheim, Germany, and was captured by a Google Street View camera. It showed a nude guy presumably clambering into the trunk of a parked car in a driveway, and the unusual image sparked a flurry of internet jokes and hypotheses. The image of a naked person entering the trunk of a car sparked several inquiries and drew significant attention. The appearance of a presumably lifeless dog lying close in the same driveway just added to the mystery. The individual was seen beside a Mercedes, inside the trunk, surrounded by the vehicle's contents. Internet users ever ready to guess proposed a variety of explanations for this puzzling scene. Some speculated that the man was wearing skin-colored shorts and was simply working on his automobile. Some speculated that the supposedly unconscious dog may be quietly slumbering. The odd image attracted the attention of local officials who launched an inquiry. The police tracked down the man to interrogate him in order to solve the riddle behind this odd sight. During their interrogation, the individual gave an unexpected but believable explanation for his obviously strange behaviors. He told the cops that he came across the injured dog in the street, motivating his humane reaction. His objective was to bring the injured dog to an animal shelter where it could receive the required treatment and care. But fate had other intentions, for the shelter was closed at the time. Faced with this challenge, he decided to leave the injured dog in his driveway to assure its safety while he did necessary errands. The lucidity of his explanation, as well as his genuine concern for the well-being of the injured dog, satisfied the authorities that no criminality had happened. As a consequence, the man received no charges. After a strange and dramatic voyage, the injured puppy was ultimately transferred to an animal shelter for the critical care it required. Number 11. Tax evasion. In Greece, an unexpected mechanism arose to identify tax evasion relating to private swimming pools, a practice taxed by municipal authorities in Athens. A few years back, when reviewing tax returns and other papers, police enforcement saw something fishy. They became suspicious when they discovered that several people had secretly built swimming pools in their own homes without reporting them to the tax office, therefore avoiding the accompanying taxes. As a result, they resorted to technology, notably Google Maps, to reveal these hitherto unknown pools. Investigators went on a groundbreaking project by using aerial pictures from Google Maps and cross-referencing the data with land registry information and tax filings. To their surprise, they discovered 16,000 illegally built private swimming pools, dodging taxation and depriving the government of much-needed cash. These discoveries demonstrated the sophistication of tax evaders. But thankfully, the tax office was determined to find the criminals and ensure they paid their dues. A similar probe took place in Riverhead, Long Island. Satellite images from Google Earth identified around 250 private swimming pools that lacked the necessary documentation. Pool owners were quickly urged to get the proper licenses or risk significant fines. This crackdown has so far resulted in the collection of nearly $70,000 in fees. Unpermitted pools are not only a financial danger, but also a safety issue, since they lack the inspections required to assure compliance with state and municipal requirements for plumbing, electrical installation, and fencing. This novel strategy of identifying individuals who built unlawful properties without necessary tax documents has proven successful not just in Greece, but also in France and the United States. Swimming pools are regarded as assets that indicate a specific level of life in such instances, and the recalibration of single property and income taxes is implemented. Number 12. Possible kidnapping. In a surprising and potentially concerning incident documented by Google Maps Street View, a disturbing scene unfolds on a quiet residential street in Stockholm, Sweden. A vigilant viewer stumbled upon this moment and shared it on Reddit, labeling it as a possible kidnapping. The images show two people who look suspiciously like thieves departing an apartment building. Both males wore classic criminal attire, striped shirts, black masks, and black pants. While this dress may be regarded as normal for a criminal image, the object they were carrying, a rolled-up carpet, made this scenario extremely unsettling. The importance of the rolled-up carpet became clearer upon closer examination. A pair of human feet emerging from the carpet raised reasonable worries that something more nefarious than a simple heist was taking place. However, it is critical to handle this scenario with care and suspicion. While the imagery raises worries, it is possible that this is a misinterpreted circumstance. It might be a situation of persons engaging in completely benign activities that look suspicious owing to the timing and outfit. They may be people moving furniture, conveying a rolled-up carpet that happens to contain an object unconnected to a crime, or engaging in an unusual but innocuous action. If there are serious worries about a potential kidnapping or criminal behavior in any circumstance, call the appropriate authorities immediately. Number 13. William Moult Mystery. William Moult unexpectedly vanished without a trace in 1997, leaving his family in utter sorrow. Fearing that he had been kidnapped, they reported his absence to police, launching an extensive missing person inquiry. Despite their best attempts, no information concerning William's location emerged. It was as if he had gone into thin air, leaving an inexplicable gap that had lasted over 2 decades. The mystery surrounding William's disappearance, however, would be lifted in 2019, owing to an unexpected finding made by a watchful individual searching his last known position on Google Maps. They came across a startling scene as the digital world spread before them. A buried yellow automobile sitting at the bottom of a lake in Moon Bay Circle, Wellington, Florida. Recognizing the possible significance of this discovery, the individual immediately alerted local police, kicking off a chain of events that would eventually offer closure to the Moult family. Authorities confirmed the presence of a submerged car in the lake upon their arrival. Recognizing the gravity of the situation, a professional recovery crew was dispatched to rescue the automobile from its aquatic abode. As the car emerged from the water, an inquiry into its ownership and relation to William Moult began. Surprisingly, the car found matched the make and type of the vehicle William was driving at the time of his abduction. As officials probed deeper into the car's inside, they discovered the presence of human bones, which mixed with hope. The intriguing case that had lasted 2 decades began to see a feeling of closure. Finally, DNA testing proved definitely that the found remains were those of William Moult. The long-running mystery surrounding his disappearance has now been solved, affording his family some relief and serenity. Number 14. Armed robbery in South Africa. A terrible armed robbery took place in South Africa, and the terrifying details were filmed accidentally by a passing Google Street View car. The terrifying occurrence occurred on Johannesburg's Junction Road and was uncovered through a series of pictures that displayed the blatant criminal behavior. The footage showed robbers in a white BMW attacking a security vehicle. As the Google vehicle arrived, 2 people rushed out of the BMW, brandishing weapons, and confronted the driver of the security van. Meanwhile, their accomplice was waiting in the getaway vehicle. The criminals violently took the security guard from his car and seemed to search him, oblivious to the installed cameras on the Google Street View truck. With the crime occurring in front of their eyes, the Google Street View car proceeded on its course, leaving the scene behind as the offenders fled. In this case, the targeted security business was ADT, South Africa's largest of its sort, known for employing armed security guards trained as paramedics to patrol and respond to crises. ADT signage and security posts were visible in the photographs, emphasizing the daring of the attempt. Notably, ADT guards are frequently targeted by criminal organizations because of the firearms, ammo, and body armor they carry. In this case, opportunistic robbers stole a weapon from an ADT employee. Despite the fact that both the South African police and ADT began investigations into the event, no arrests were made at the time. The recently released Google Street View images have renewed interest in the case, with the expectation that they would give crucial evidence to aid the ongoing investigation. The neighborhood where the armed robbery took place has a history of violence. Number 15. Giovacchino Gamino. A significant chapter in the world of crime happened on January 5, 2022, when Italian mafia lord Giovacchino Gamino was captured in Spain, bringing to an end his more than two-decade-long escape from punishment. Gamino, known as one of the most dangerous men in the Italian mafia, was apprehended on criminal allegations. His jail escape had tormented Italian police for years, keeping him at the top of the country's most wanted list. Their continuous chase, however, offered no findings until an anonymous tip-off changed the trajectory of his fate, owing to a coincidental Google Maps sighting. The breakthrough came in the shape of a Google Maps photograph of a man who had an eerie likeness to Gamino, standing outside a mundane grocery while conversing with another person. This photograph had been uploaded just days before Gamino's arrest, yet he had eluded authorities for over 2 decades. As a result, it took the authorities some time to authenticate his identification by matching the image to dated images. It was eventually shown without a shadow of a doubt that the individual recorded in the Google Maps photographs was, in fact, Gamino. Later reports revealed that Gamino had been living in Calpe, Spain for those years, hiding behind the guise of a simple store owner. He had escaped Spanish police for 2 decades by adopting a new identity as an ordinary guy. However, his luck ran out when Spanish police arrested him immediately after confirming his identification. Gamino was swiftly extradited to Italy after his apprehension in Spain, where he would face prosecution for a long list of alleged crimes. The irony of the scenario was striking. Gamino, the crafty gangster, had no idea that a Google application would be the instrument of his eventual demise.